Hello and welcome to the Blimey Waffle channel. Today we're going to be jumping into Forza Horizon 4, and I've created a test track which I've named the Waffle test track, which takes inspiration from the Top Gear test track and it's going to give us a place to test some cars against each other. So for today I've got a selection of 4 cars we're going to see lapped around the Waffle test track as fast as we can and just see how they compare against each other. The track takes a few elements from the Top Gear test track. As you can see from the track layout here, there's a crossover section. We've got a few longer straights, nice and short. It's only 1.4 miles. And it also incorporates a replica of the hammerhead corner on the bottom part of it. The track is located in the Lego Speed Champions expansion in the racetrack area. The first car that we're going to take around the Waffle test track is the 2018 Ford Mustang GT. Rear-wheel drive car, 460 horsepower, 3,700 pounds. It's in Class A, and in this game, since it's the first car we'll be taking around the track, I'm going to take you guys with me for the drive to get a sense of what the track looks like, and then we'll do a bit of a replay of you. So there's the first corner around the left. We go to the drag strip section. There's the long straight. You'll see that there's some cars up ahead. Going to the hammerhead here. Anyway, the reason for the other cars being on the track is when you create a route, a little bit of oversteer there. When you create a route, you're not able to run a race on it without any your avatars. It's the only way to do this is to have them. So I just sit the start line and queue up and let them go a little bit ahead so that I'm not catching up to them. And then we've got 2 left-hand corners at the end. A little bit of a Top Gear inspiration there, the way it works out. The corners are a little bit broader there. And then across the line. And now for a replay. Replay cameras are not the greatest in this game, but for the purpose of this, I'm gonna just kind of cut between the driver view and the panning exterior view whenever I got a good shot, because it's a little bit tricky to get good angles. This is where we had some oversteer, powering through, coming out of the hammerhead, and onto the crossover. Then we have a tight right-hand corner. This is a bit of a tricky corner, a little bit of a right hand, and then it takes you right into the braking zone of that tight left-hand corner, depending on how fast the car you're driving is, of course. And then the final straight, across the line, the Mustang did it in 1:06.46, which will compare to the one car I previously recorded, which is the 60 Porsche 356 RSR, which I did not record. I misspoke there. But it was the one time I had ahead of time while I was creating the track. I wrote it down. And as you can see, the next car we are taking around the track is a 1924 Austin 7. We're going to the very low end of the PI spectrum here. It's only got 10 horsepower. It is ancient, but it is very lightweight, so it's still going to be very, very slow because 10 horsepower is not a lot. But this should be a good benchmark for the slowest time around this track. And did he start? Yeah, oh, yes you did. Very slowly. And eventually we're going to make it to the first corner. Flat out through here. Because you can go flat out through most of it if you only have 10 horsepower. And a very, very long straight, which is not that long when you have some of the faster cars. And through the hammerhead, I think I did have to use the brakes a little bit there. I don't recall. I think I did shift down. There it is. Did have to shift back up again. I don't remember how many gears. I think it's 3 or 4. Probably only 3 speed, but I don't even remember. And through the crossover. Very slowly. And a little bit of brakes needed there for that right hand corner. I probably braked more than I needed to. Probably out of habit. And some brakes there. Did not shift down. Around the final corner, flat out, of course. And sooner or later, we'll make it to the line. There it is. And the Austin 7 did it in 2 minutes, 16.81. So if you recall from the Mustang that we just did, it's over a minute slower. And here's her places against the other times we have so far. Next up, we're going to take the 2016 Mazda MX-5, well known as a track car, very fun car to drive, but not a ton of power, only 155 horsepower, somewhat lightweight, 2,300 pounds. In the Forza world, it is a B-class vehicle. All the vehicles we are taking around the track today are stock unmodified, but I'm not committing to only testing unmodified cars here. And it's up. And into the first corner, did have to brake a little bit, but pretty well behaved there. Through the hammerhead. Very tight line through there. Flat out through here. Coming back through the crossover. A little bit of oversteer on the way out of that corner. And the penultimate corner. I was a little late on the brakes, so went a little wide there. Had to lift off a little bit through the last corner and onto the final straight. And the Mazda MX-5 did it in 1 minute 16.08 seconds, which places it third amongst the 4 vehicles tested so far. Next up, we're going to be testing the 2012 Lamborghini Aventador LP 700-4. So we're moving up in the world. Wanted to get a selection of cars that were all across the PI range. So this is an S1 class car, supercar, all-wheel drive, mid-engine, 700 horsepower. Quite a bit heavier than the Miata, but I fully expect this to be the fastest time of the bunch. And that's a very good start. The all-wheel drive makes for a good launch. Heavy on the brakes for the first corner. Carrying some speed onto the straightaway. And the straight section is over fast with this car. Well behaved through the hammerhead. Had the lift there. And coming through the crossover. I'm getting a little worried that I'm going to catch up to the cars ahead, but we're going to be alright. And here I got very slit, very, what's the way to describe that? I was sliding on the verge of losing control. That's what happened there. And across the line in 58 seconds, 58.19 seconds. So less than a minute, and definitely the top car, fastest car that had been tested so far. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this series of tests on the Waffle test track. Thanks for watching.